Good evening. This is the Melodicinvestor. My name is Antoine, and just wanted to come on and leave you guys some thoughts that I have based on some conversations that I had that always make, in my opinion, good content. As you know, on this channel, I primarily deal with real estate because that's what I do for a living. Um, for those of you who don't know, I've done 10 years in the multifamily side, and I'm just about 10 years on the commercial side. So that's primarily what I do, what I invest in, and that's what I know best. Uh, don't really know stocks, bonds, all that stuff. I have a basic level understanding, but it's not something that I particularly do. But at any rate, that's not why you're here. Also, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel so we could get some more good content out there, and that helps me out a lot. So appreciate that. Just want to come on and talk about when you're first starting out, any business for that matter, but in particular when you're starting out your real estate business. Don't make things harder before they need to be. Meaning, I hear a lot of like content creators and things of that, or not content creators, but influencers that are talking about starting an LLC and S corps and all of these terms that are thrown around. By the way, I am not a real estate attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm none of those things. So please, you need to seek legal help and professionals for that. I'm a property manager. But what I will tell you is I've been in the industry long enough to know things that could be helpful, tools that could be helpful. But what I was trying to say is I don't see people going and talking about the back end, meaning like what it actually takes if you did start an LLC. What are some of the systems and processes that you need in place to run a good business? Those are all things that us entrepreneurs need to really get a good grasp on, so that we're not, one, frustrating our tenants, and two, we can respond to things in a timely manner, and three, you just want to look professional. You don't want to look bush league. So hopefully this video can kind of guide you and kind of help you in that regard. So let's talk about, since everyone wants to know about the LLC thing, there's nothing magical about an LLC. It's just a degree of separation from you and the business or the asset. In case things go sideways, it creates a barrier of protection, so where they can sue the LLC and not sue you personally. Doesn't mean you're completely absolved. My understanding is you could still be held liable, but your business will be will take the brunt of it. That being said, to start the LLC, there's a cost for that, right? And mind you, you're just starting out, right? You don't have a lot of capital, and the capital you have or you're going to get, you kind of want that to be productive, right? You want to get the highest use for that money. So you're gonna pay for your LLC. You have to set up the bylaws, who's in charge, who's the second person in charge, what's the split, all that stuff. What other partners are named in the LLC. And then the other part of that, and yet I think you can go to the state, Secretary of State website of whatever state you're in. Again, I'm not a real estate attorney. These are things that you need to run by your attorney or CPA. I just wanted to shed some light on the process. So once you have the LLC formed and you've paid the fee, there is a yearly fee that you have to pay to keep your LLC open and valid. And in some cities or counties, you may have to have a business license as well. Other part of that is, if you once you get your LLC opened, you need a bank account to link, right, the LLC to, which you need an EIN number. That's a EIN. In order to get that, got to go into the IRS, I believe, website and request one. Obviously, you have to put your LLC information into that system, and I think it's like 48 to 72 hours before they can produce you a number. I mean, I think they go through some type of screening process, and once you get that, it's like your business. An EIN is basically your business social security number. It allows you to get trade lines of credit, open a bank account, etc. So once you get that, then you can go down to the bank. You have to give them your LLC paperwork, give them your your EIN paperwork, and then once you do that, they run into the system, do all that stuff, and then boom, you got a business checking account, and now you have a business savings account. So that's one way. You want to keep your personal and business separated. You don't want to commingle. That's frowned upon. You always want to keep that stuff separated. And that's just a clean way to do business. You don't want to be mixing the two, and I'm sure there's some IRS codes that they kind of frown on that. So, and the IN number also allows you, IN number plus the bank account will allow you to, well, I guess you don't need a bank account, but the IN number for sure would allow you to apply for credit cards and things of that nature. But again, the more we do, the more complicated this is becoming. The more you add on, the more complicated it's becoming. So that's just one piece of it. Now you got to think about, what are you going to do in return, in terms of, you have a tenant who has a work order. A work order is just something in their unit broke, so they need to have it replaced. So what are they going to, how does that system, what happens when that happens? When you have a request, what do they do? Most people in the professional world, we use a management software. There's several of them out there. You could take your pick and see which one you like. This is not a paid advertisement. I do use Himlane. Nothing, it just was pretty affordable, and it helped me manage things, and it helped the person I have helping me with my books, who's an accountant. It kind of gives them access, and they can go in and do their thing. But if you need something to track all of it, and some people, if you're old school, that's fine. You can set up an email address, or if you want to give them your personal email address, that's fine. Anytime I purchase a property, if I'm inheriting tenants, one of the things I always want to do is produce a letter that says, "Hey, I'm the new owner." And some people don't like to announce themselves as the owner because they want to remain anonymous or whatever. That's fine. If you want to call yourself the acting manager or represent ownership, whatever, it's fine. I usually tell people I'm the owner because I want them to see me, and I want them to see that we actually care about the property and we're going to come in and fix it. But producing a letter, typing something out, doesn't have to be super long, but has your contact information on there, how to get a hold of you, how they can pay rent, and things of that nature. Those are all the things that I kind of do when I'm acquiring a property. Again, goes back to a system, right? Systems are important. Let's say you don't own a property. Let's say you have a small business. Social media accounts. How do people pay you? You do a service, you need something to monitor a transaction. People don't have checks anymore. Most people like to pay with their business checking card or debit card or something like that. So setting all of that up. So you do want to have some level of sophistication, but I would just encourage you guys to, when you're first starting out, you don't need to make this complicated, because if it's real complicated, my experience is you're probably less likely to do it. As you progress into it and you get more comfortable, then I would go ahead and encourage you to start getting into more robust things if you choose to, or you don't have to. There's no rule that says you have to. But my whole point is, systems and processes are very important. It's not so much about the LLC is right. That's the sexy part, supposedly. Everyone gets caught up on that, but again, a simple spreadsheet that tracks your profit and loss, that's called P&L, that just tracks your money in, money out. How did you do in the month? Did the tenants pay their utilities? Is there a way for you to track, make sure utilities are being billed evenly? Do you have a one meter on your duplex or triplex, or is there multiple meters for water, gas, electricity? Do you have meters for all the units? Are they individually metered? Or if not, maybe you need to talk to a contractor about getting a sub meter installed, so that people are being billed accordingly and you're recouping that cost. Because one of the things you don't want to do is when you own a property, and this goes for across the board, commercial, whatever, each space needs to have some responsibility for their share of the utilities. However you allocate that is fine, but some commercial processes can be a little more involved. But on the smaller level, because that's mainly what we deal with here, on your duplexes, triplexes, I like everything to be sub-metered if it doesn't have its individual meter, and you figure out that math, because I like everyone to pay for their bills accordingly, you know. But again, this is all stuff that you want to be thinking about if you're looking to get into this industry. You know, one of the things I do is I have a business checking account, and then I have a business cash flow account, which is just another checking account. I just call it cash flow because my business checking account is the account that all the bills are tied to, and on anything automatic comes out of that. Then my business cash flow account, if I need to go pick up something for the properties or something like that, the debit card is the one that's I use around in public, because if something happens to it, or, you know, lost, stolen, hacked, what have you, I'm not freaking out about it because I control how much money I put into it, and I usually only put what I'm going to use at the time, or a couple $100 a time. So it's not earth shattering if it gets, you know, compromised. Excuse me. So again, these are things you need to be thinking about, and this applies across the board to all small businesses. You want to have systems and processes, because it's frustrating for your tenants or customers to not have a way to pay you. And some people like to pay, they want to pay you. They'll give you like their W-9 to fill out because they want to claim that on their taxes to be able to write that off, or whatever the reason is. You do want to have some level of sophistication so that you could, you know, you're running a business. You're not running something out of the back of your truck. You know what I mean? It's okay if you do have your business and you're mobile like that, but I'm just saying you want to be a little more sophisticated. And systems and processes can take some time to get started, but man, once you get them in place, it's like clockwork. They save you a lot of time and energy. So I would just encourage you guys to do more research on that stuff. Don't get so caught up on the LLC that you just lose sight of actually like starting, or think of it as another barrier or more work. So hopefully that was helpful. Happy to do more content like this if this is what you guys want. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.